This is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com, and we're going to take a look at the top 11 plays on our Stocktwits top 11 gainer list for today. So we're going to take a quick look at the top plays. We do put out alerts in our chat pre-market and during the day and after hours, constantly posting stocks that are setting up, along with technical analysis to teach you how to trade using the charts and the candlesticks. Okay, so first up, ACUR. Big move today. Above in overbought levels on the RSI and Fasto. Nice bullish crossover on ADX. The big bullish move today was the move above the middle Bollinger Band and the 50 and 100-day simple moving averages. Bulls want to see a close above the 100-day simple moving average. If that holds, you could see a run up to the 200 at 156. Look back here in October. This 120 zone is going to be big resistance. So if it can break 120, we think it could run up to the 200 and test that 156 zone. Giant volume spike today, so there's big money behind the move. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next one is EYES. EYES is another breakout play. Look how this chart looks similar to the last one. Once again, you have RSI and Fasto pushing overbought levels, parabolic move on ADX. This is the same setup. Notice it's a break above the middle Bollinger Band and the 50 and 100-day simple moving averages. Once again, it's hitting this November resistance. Look at this zone back here in the 240s. If it can break above and close above this 240 resistance zone and this 100-day simple moving average, it's going to put the 300 at 311 on deck. Once again, look at the giant volume spike. Big money behind this move. Okay, let's look at PIP. Okay, this was a stock we did a video on last night. Look at the very nice bullish follow through. Once again, overbought on RSI and Fasto. You've got a little correction going on these indicators with plus DI ticking down. As you can see, there was giant follow through today. So today's candle, with even more volume, today's candle is forming above the upper Bollinger Band. If this trend continues, basically what you want to see is you want to be following the intraday charts for this play. As you can see, this chart here is not showing you the next resistance levels. You're going to need to look at a weekly chart. If the candles do pull back on this, you're looking at the upper Bollinger Band at 98 and EMA4 at 95 as the first support levels. Okay, so this is a parabolic move. Look at MACD on both time frames, how it's very vertical. This type of trajectory is unsustainable. So this is a parabolic move. There's not much gas in the tank, but it's continuing to push higher. You never know how high it will go, so we always recommend following the intraday charts. Okay, BNTC. This was a ticker that was on our radar pre-market. We were looking for a bounce today. We thought it could bounce. It did. It had this really nice move. The nice thing about this stock is check out RSI and Fasto are both in the bull zone, 50 to 70 and 50 80. So there's juice to run on this play. It is not overbought. It is bouncing off of EMA's 4 and 8 support. This long lower wick was the clue that was signaling that it could be in play today for a nice bounce. And it did. It followed through nicely. There's this very strong uptrend. It's holding the 300-day simple moving average. It's pushing up here, through the upper Bollinger Band. Notice how the upper Bollinger Band is pointing up. Our next target's going to be this closing price on February 2nd. So it's looking like, around 375 or so. We want to see a break above that to retest the 4s. Notice there's big volume behind this move. Those bullish crossovers on MACD was signaling that this stock was in play. Okay, let's take another look at a stock that we have been following and charting, and this is MYOS. Okay, this is another stock that, check it out. It's very nice on the RSI and Fasto. Those are both in the bull zone, so there is room to run on this indicator. Look, there's a nice bullish crossover on ADX. Okay, what you have here is we, had this move the other day on Friday where it ran up to 6 and then it pulled all the way back, and what we were looking for was a close above this 17th closing price on the 17th. And if you notice today, it's breaking above that level. That was our signal today that it was back in play. Yesterday it was just a pause in the uptrend. Notice how this red candle is not solid red like these previous candles. What that shows is that even though it closed down on the day, it closed above the open, and this was an indicator that the bulls were still strong. Notice how it was holding the middle Bollinger Band. As long as this middle Bollinger Band holds, holds, the uptrend should continue. The key level to break is going to be this upper Bollinger Band at 542. If it can bust through that, we're thinking it can run back up here and test the 675 to 7 level, which was the closing price back there on the 11th of January. And so notice once again, there's big volume behind this move, and you've got these bullish crossovers on MACD signaling more upside potential. If the share price hits 6, you're going to see a bullish flip on PSAR. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next one is SGNL. Okay, this is another one that was this is a low volume play. This was alerted by one of our members in our chat today that it was heating up, and you can see it's only traded 190,000 shares today, but it has made this very strong move. You can see here the RSI is pushing towards 70, and Fasto went above 80 and it corrected on this pullback. Notice there's an upper wick on today's candle. After it hit upper Bollinger Band resistance, it pulled back. That's going to be the key level to break at 1407. Notice this is on a multi-day run. If it can bust through the upper Bollinger Band, then you're looking at this closing price on the 10th of January is the key level to break all the way up here at 17. So remember everybody back then on the 10th, SGNL was the huge runner. Remember it went from like $4, in the $4 range all the way up to 18. Everybody was in love with it. It had the sell off the next day, and then notice how the volume just faded. Volume just totally disappeared. Well, check out today. There's a volume spike. This is putting it back in play. So we're going to see if there can be a bullish follow through tomorrow. If there is, this thing has a chance to push back up and retest that 17 to 18 range. The bullish crossovers on MACD are signaling more upside potential. So this is a low volume play. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but this thing is moving and does have some potential for a little more upside. So let's see if it can test resistance tomorrow. Okay, now we've got our dead cat bounce play here. Sorry about that. Here's the correct one. VNR here. Okay, this is it. The VNR is the dead cat bounce play that we're looking at. We've been tracking this since it pulled back. Notice how when it dropped, it formed the first candle on the 2nd of February below the lower Bollinger Band, and then the candles kept closing below. Well, that was showing extreme bearishness. What we were looking for is a break above this lower Bollinger Band, which was at 23. For these dead cat bounce plays, we follow the intraday charts, and we were tracking this yesterday in our chat on the the 15-minute chart heated up. We were already all over this play yesterday, and it's followed through nicely today. So congrats to everybody and our members. They were in well below 20. I believe it was like people were seeing this reverse in the 13 to 17 range. So that's pretty cool. That it's up to 26 right now. So we're looking at some nice percentage gains for those bounce players out there. The next what you want to see now is you want to see a close above the lower Bollinger Band. If that holds, the next target's going to be EMA4 at 35 currently. Now keep in mind these moving averages are dropping fast, so you're going to have to adjust your resistance level as to where the level that EMA4 is at currently. So just keep in mind that is continually changing. Bearish stocks many times ride EMA4 resistance lower, and many times that will be a top when it bounces. Okay, so let's look at the next one. The next one is CBIO. Okay, this is another stock that was in a downtrend. Notice how it's been in this nasty downtrend, and today it's bouncing after multiple red candles. Now notice how the candles have been forming below the middle Bollinger Band. Now we don't recommend taking a stab at this until it gets above that middle Bollinger Band, because that's gonna you could try to play this bounce down here, but it's gonna need to break the middle Bollinger Band to follow through. So if that fails to the move above these EMAs 4, 8, and 13 today is the bull signal. It is the signal that the chart is heating up, but you can see back here it failed to break resistance and it continued the downtrend. And look how long the middle Bollinger Band has been resistance. So it's going to need to get above that level to be in play. And then the next target's going to be this 50-day simple moving average. Notice how it was resistance as well. If it can get above that, that's when it's going to, then it could get running, and then you'd be talking about the 100-day simple moving average if it can get past the upper Bollinger Band. Right now we're just keeping an eye on this play to see if it does heat up. So watch it for tomorrow. tomorrow for potential breakup of the middle Bollinger Band. These little volume spikes down here at the bottom are giving us a clue that maybe it's heating up. We want to see a bullish crossover on 12.26 and 9 MACD. It's already started crossing over on 8.13 and 5. Check out how parabolic SAR is coming down fast. This had just entered the bull zone on fastos. That's a signal the chart is heating up. If RSI gets above 50, that'll be another clue that this chart is heating up, so keep an eye on it. All right, RGSE. Here's another one of those plays that everybody loves to trade, RGSE. Notice that it's oversold on RSI and Fasto. This was one of those dead cat bounce plays. Notice it's got this really nasty multi-month downtrend. Everybody knows the story here. I don't need to go through it. This is a dilution monster. The trip is today is this gap up open that opens up here at the top of this candle, and then notice it's pulled back. Notice how a black candle means that even though the stock is up on the day, it is trading below the open. So that is a red flag. What we are looking for is for this EMA4 support level to hold. Notice how there was a close above it on the 30th, but it failed to stay above that level, and that continued the downtrend. So that's the big level to break on the chart, this chart, the first one. So if you can get a close above EMA4, that's a signal it's heating up. And then if it can turn EMA8 into support, then you're really talking, and you could be seeing a potential run up to the middle Bollinger Band. Fail to turn EMAs 4 and 8 into support will be a red flag and will signal a continuation of this nasty multi-month, multi-year downtrend. There is a giant volume spike today. It's trading below the open, so there's possibly more dilution going on, more shares being sold, but there could be some loading for a push higher. So we're keeping an eye on this ticker to see if it heats back up. And then ESPR is a stock that we have been on that just keeps pushing higher. Notice it's overbought on RSI and Fasto. We got this big breakout on plus DI. We first got caught our eye was this move back here on the first when it broke above the 200-day simple moving average and above this middle Bollinger Band. Notice it closed before right at the 150-day simple moving average, and so this candle right here is our clue the chart was heating up, and then it's really gotten going this week. It's really taken off, and so what we're looking for now is for a continuation of this uptrend. It's getting very frothy right now. There's not a lot of juice in the tank, but you never know how high these things will push. Notice it broke above the 300-day simple moving average at 1471. If there is a pullback, look for EMA4 at 1731 support to hold. There is this unfilled gap down here at between these two candles down here. So between the high of day on Friday and the low of day on Monday. So a pullback could see that gap filled, but it's a very small one. This is pushing really hard. There's huge volume behind the move. Very strong uptrend here. For this type of play, when they're breaking out above resistance on the daily chart, what you need to do is you need to check out the weekly chart. The weekly chart is going to show you the next key resistance level. I know we've talked about this in past videos, so I recommend if you're trading ESPR to definitely look at a weekly chart tonight. Okay, now the next one and the last one of this video is going to be CXRX. This is the 11th top percentage gainer of the day at this time for this day. So basically, on the 7th of February. And what we have here is we have two more overbought levels here on RSI and Fasto. We've got this big move on plus DI. The bullish development on CXRX has been amazing. We're keeping an eye on this back here, and when it broke above this 50-day simple moving average, notice this candle right here on February 2nd. That was the big move that caught our attention, and it's preceded with three more up days. Whenever you see a close above the 50-day simple moving average, that is the bull signal. That signals more upside potential when it's been resistance for an extended period of time. So this is just followed through. This shows you it pays to stick with the trade. The chart wasn't broken. White candles keep forming above EMA4. It broke through the 100 and it's pushing higher. So this is a really nice move. Congrats to everybody that caught our early alerts and early charts. What we want to see now is we want to see this 100-day simple moving average turn into support. It looks like there's a little mini gap between high of day yesterday and low of day today. If you do see a pullback, the 100-day simple moving average is likely to be tested, and EMA4 is going to be the next support level down here at 291. Once again, very similar to these other charts that are in the biotech sector that have been running. It's hitting this November resistance zone. Check out 350. I've shown this on other charts. 350 could be a tough level to break. If it can get above that level, it could head higher. For strong uptrends like this, always look at pullbacks as a blessing, as a chance to, for a trade and to get back in for the next push higher. Okay, if you like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, please check us out at mychartcoach.com. You can check out our live chat. We teach all through the trading day. And if you want to learn more and watch more videos, please check us out on our mychartcoach.com YouTube channel. And if you like them, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is free, and I would appreciate it. Thank you so much.